Who doesn't love a good monster movie? One that overtakes a small town America and causes some dysfunction for some people. Especially ones that are remakes of popular 1950s ones starring Stephen King, very specifically The Blob. So, of course, this is a remake, and The Blob has returned in this horrible tale about a vile, malignant life form that crashes to Earth in a cozy rural American town called Arborville. Untroubled by conscience or intellect, the Blob does only one thing and does it well. It eats anything and everything that moves men, women, children. And tonight it wants to swallow Arborville whole. The original version of the Blob thrilled and terrified audiences back in the 1950s. Now the oozing Yui killer is back with a whole new high-tech look. It was once what was once only suggested now comes to life in this visually gut-wrenching thrill in the tradition of such classic remakes as The Thing and The Fly. And that's what this is. This is a 1980s updating of the 1950s classic, and I liked it. If you treat it as such. So, what do we have? We have some teens in the beginning. One that wants to ask a cheerleader out. We have the rebel who's even got the long black hair. I don't think he even goes. He does go to school, but he's going to try and clear a jump. But lo and behold, his brakes or something or whatever. I don't know. And he doesn't clear, and crashes. Right just there's a homeless person laughs at him, but then the homeless person gets engulfed by a meteor, by some substance from the meteor, and I'm thinking, okay. All the meanwhile, we have this girl who's looking after two boys, so I'm wondering, alright, what's going on? Well, it's it's at once paying tribute to some of the 1950s style of horror, but also dealing with some post-Vietnam, I don't want to say trouble, but circumstances going on. So, some people are denying that there's like this, that there's any mutations going on. But then lo and behold, a group of armed people, unmarked trucks come in, and they try and contain them. I'm like, all right, I know what this is going on. Obviously, they were having some experimentation going on, and when it's discovered that the Blob was a man-made experiment that they shot out into space, but then it converged with space bacteria. It devours things. It just goes around devouring, and it does not stop. It knows exactly what is going on. So that's when we get the delightful blood and the effects. And I like the effects in here. I mean, the crew went really gosh darn all out, very specifically to ensure, yes, it's a Chuck Russell film, starring Kevin Dillon, it's really the only name I recognize, and Candy Clark. And what we have here is, saying, hey, let's pretend, like, what I liked was both sides and everything. When we have the decontamination team, and two, we have the small town response team. So we've got what some people were seeing was the government interference of how they're going to just pretty much eliminate Arborville off the map, and them even not caring that there were three young people that are in the sewers where the Blob has just been hibernating. Even the leader says that they are expendable, and I'm just like, yeah, I kind of had a feeling. And of course, it's the darn thing's exploding. We get to see some nice visuals in the sewer. I don't know. I just like the way how it looked. It's like you always got to make the sewers look nice. And obviously, you have some tension going on because they have the Alpha Bravo Charlie team going around. They have to try and stop it. They use guns, and you really can't use guns against this multifaceted, ever-expanding creature. This thing does not stop. And it even gets to the point where some of the team is wiped out, and all the mutiny going on and everything like that. But lo and behold, look who comes in: the rebellious motorcycle riding teenager And as he's coming in, he's getting he manages to save the day by one dropping a cold, pretty much a cold pack down there. And, and ultimately, the day is saved. They get to see it was a frozen mass of that's just there. I mean, this thing does not survive. So as I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, oh yeah, and of course, like I said, with the blood and guts, very specifically, there's this waitress that wants to meet with a police officer. She's as the blob is dominating the town. She's saying, "Can you please?" She's calling in a phone booth. Boy, that's a relic. She's calling a phone booth inside a phone booth, calling for I forgot what his name was. Saying, "Please, where is he at?" Oh, he's coming over to the diner. Then, like lo and behold, she turns around. There's what remains of him, and saying, "Well, technically, she wanted to see him one last time, and he was traveling towards the diner, so she got her wish in the most gruesome way possible as the box is destroyed." Good stuff, actually. And of course, how I said, it's also paying tribute like the movies and stuff. Like Garden Tool Massacres. Like, you had all these cheap, ridiculous movies coming out at the time. And lo and behold, two children managed to sneak off to go and view it. And, they're having a good time. So I guess it's kind of paying tribute to all the stuff that was going on. And I think that's like where the original Blob theater was, original showing of the Blob, and they said, yeah, we're going to pay tribute to it by having another movie be filmed here. So I don't know. I found that to be pretty cool. So yeah, if you want a good I think it's if you want a good Saturday night movie that you can watch, where a 13-year-old could watch this, I would say. So yeah, then I recommend that you watch The Blob.